behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. We're glad that you could join us today. We got a great interview coming up for you in just a couple minutes, but before we get into that, click that notification bell and subscribe, and you'll always be notified whenever you get a new interview for you. Hope you'll check that out. And also use the comments section to tell us what you think of the episode. And we have caps for t-shirts for sale, and those will be on one of the comments there as well. And if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/PalmMashTV. And feel free to like the page, inbox us, comment on everything you see. We'd like to hear from you there. And we have email, palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. So if you're a band or solo artist wanting to be on the show, or for that matter, if you're a fan of the show, you can use that same email address. We'd love to hear from you as well. And check out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central on Roku, channel Smile World TV. One of my episodes will be on there. And also go to my website, www.onemicmusic, that's the number 1, micmusic.net/PalmMashTV, and check out that site out. And all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. We'll have James Ethington coming up from Alamagordo, New Mexico, and he's a very talented artist, and I think you will agree. And we'll get to that in just a moment, but first, here's a quick word from ClickJam. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time for interview time as promised, and with us from Alamagordo, New Mexico, we have James Ethington. Thanks for joining us, James.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're no problem. We're glad to have you on here today. So let's start off by the obvious question. How did it all begin for you as far as being an artist? I mean, have you always wanted to be an artist? Maybe you can tell us in your own words, though.
Well, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player. So obviously things went in a different direction. But meanwhile, as I had this focus of being a basketball player, I still was writing stories. I used to love to tell jokes and entertain my friends. And I used to like to write poetry a lot. So I used to always be writing something, those kind of things just as a kid. But when I turned 19, I just found myself in a place where I wanted to do something positive to deal with all the things that were going on, emotionally and things like that. So I wanted to go back to those poetic roots and those roots of, coming up with jokes and entertaining friends. And in that time of growing, I started getting all these guitars because I just liked the way they looked. I was always fascinated by how guitars sound. So I started collecting guitars. But when I was 19, I started to try to put it all together. And that's when it really, kind of started for myself,
Okay, well, that's quite a story there. And do you think you could have made it as a basketball player as far as that goes? Or
Obviously, yes. I'm gonna say yes. I was Michael Jordan on the court. No, I don't. Who knows? Who knows? I think if I had the right mindset, if I had the mindset at 28, with the mindset at 28 at like 13, maybe I could have made it as a basketball player. But I was always, distracted by personal issues. I didn't know how to deal with anxiety. I did not know how to deal with depression in the right way. So that kind of stowed my growth as a basketball player, but it allowed me to excel as a writer, as a songwriter, as a guitar player, as a musician, because it's all expressive. It's all emotions. It's about tapping into those things and talking about it. So possibly if I would have stuck to basketball, I would have went somewhere, but my life took me in another direction, and now I'm able to utilize all these positive things through music and song.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the influences growing up that you liked? I mean, I'm sure you have a few that stick out in your mind.
Yeah. I've got to say, I love the Jackson 5. Big old, maybe you can't see it on there. Jackson 5, a huge Michael Jackson fan. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan just on his own, but my father had a lot of Motown. So it was the Jackson 5. It was, Stevie Wonder. It was just, just this incredible list of all these soulful artists that I would hear on a daily basis. And my father had a really deep palette. So there was gospel influences as well. There was, Black Streak and things that was going on in the 90s. But it just came from a lot of different sources, getting into Nirvana when I'm, in my teens and things like that. So it all just spoke to me in some way, shape, or form that inspires my writing and my performance and how I am today just as an entertainer.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, the Jackson 5 and Stevie Wonder, as you mentioned, they're legends in their own time, and so you can't go wrong with people like that. So, well, where exactly can you find your music? I mean, I'm sure it's in all streaming platforms, but if you have physical copies as well, maybe you can let us know that as well.
Yeah, we're working on the physical copies right now, but as far as online or anything like that, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, my music is everywhere. If you just Google the name James Ethington, I'm forgetting how to spell my last name right now, Ethington. The one time I forget how to spell my name, it's in an interview with you, Paul. I don't know what it is about you, but you make me nervous. Maybe you're just such a great interviewer. But if you just look up James Ethington III, just Google it. It's on more platforms than I actually know about because I'm not very internet savvy. I got somebody else that tells me what to do, like on the internet, because I have no idea, But just Google my name. You will find it. It will be there.
Okay. Well, I'm sure everybody out there go out there and get James Ethington music. I'm sure he would love you for that. And speaking of that, your music, I guess in just a minute or two, we're going to be watching a music video of yours. Well, it's actually a picture video, but it's called Becca.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? Is there a story behind that? Let us know.
Becca, yeah, there is a story behind it. It's a wonderful story, Paul. Let me tell you all about it. Becca is a character in a movie that I'm writing. So it is Becca's one character, and the song stems from the lead character's, affection for her and wanting to be with her and just kind of going through his mind of the past with her and the present with her. So it kind of tells that story. It's kind of hard to get because no one's ever seen this movie yet, but it does have a story if you just sit and you have to give it a chance and listen to it.
Okay, well that's a good story, and I'm sure everybody's anxious to hearing this song, and again we'll get to that in just a moment. But I think that's about all we really need for now, James. And thank you very much for coming on the show. And if you got anything new to plug for us in the future, maybe we'll have you back on sometime.
Maybe. I'm definitely writing every single day. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this. Thank you. And once again, you can find my music at James Ethington III on Spotify, on Apple Music, Deezer, many platforms, all major platforms. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hey, I'm here waiting for you. So.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back with Becca right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Becca, I'm in your city, in and out of bars, trying to keep my mind still. She's gonna call me on the phone, you know how she gets when she's alone. She's gonna bite my head off. York state of mind. My heart's map and I'm sure that I could seek and find you. My love's always behind you. My fantasy. Are you into black eyes? You remember junior year? It's funny how memories don't age like we do. Anytime I'm feeling low, I think of the memories of old. And I'm counting crows. We dance so slow. But I don't wanna be alone. So don't let me drink myself dry. Cause you know if you leave you couldn't stand the pain. You'll book a flight before the end of the night and meet me in the baggage claim and follow me home. Back up. Becca, I'm in your city. I heard you got a brand new skill set. You're gonna call me on the phone. I know how to get when you're alone. You're gonna bite my head off. How some men get off. But if I leave, it's just distance. I'll run away, I'll visit and bridge that gap between your seas. Becca.